The sun rises slowly over the Mediterranean, casting a soft golden glow across the harbor of Alexandria. The sea is calm. Merchant ships drift gently at anchor. Their sails hang loose in the morning air, still heavy with dew. Seagulls circle above, their cries echoing between stone walls and wooden decks. This is not just a city. It is a living crossroads of the ancient world. Imagine standing here on the edge of the great harbor around 250 BC. The air carries the scent of salt, papyrus, and distant spices. Behind you, the city stretches outward in ordered streets and grand avenues. Before you, the vast lighthouse of Pharos rises like a silent guardian. Its flame, though dim in daylight, promises guidance to all who approach. But today, our journey does not remain at the sea. We turn inward, toward a place that has become legend, the Library of Alexandria. As we walk through the city, the rhythm of daily life unfolds around us. Traders call out in Greek, Egyptian, and other tongues. Donkeys pull carts loaded with grain and scrolls. Scholars in simple robes move quickly through the streets, their minds already engaged in debates not yet spoken aloud. Alexandria is young, yet it feels ancient. Founded by Alexander the Great, it has become the intellectual heart of the Hellenistic world. Under the rule of the Ptolemies, knowledge is not just valued. It is pursued, collected, and protected with purpose. We approach the royal quarter, where the library stands as part of a larger institution known as the Mouseion, a place dedicated to the Muses, the divine patrons of knowledge, art, and science. The entrance is not loud or imposing. It is dignified. Columns rise in quiet symmetry. The stone is pale, reflecting the morning light. There is a sense of order here, of intention. Every step feels deliberate. As we cross the threshold, the noise of the city fades. Inside, the air is cooler. Still, this is not a place of chaos. It is a place of focus. Rows of scrolls line the walls, stored carefully in wooden shelves. Each scroll is labeled, cataloged, and arranged according to subject: poetry, philosophy, mathematics, medicine, geography, history, the accumulated thoughts of generations, gathered from across the known world. Imagine the effort behind this collection. Ships arriving in the harbor are searched, not for weapons or contraband, but for books. Any scroll found is taken, copied by skilled scribes, and added to the library's growing archive. The original may be kept, the copy returned. Knowledge here is a form of wealth. As we move deeper into the library, we begin to see its inhabitants. Scholars sit at long wooden tables. Some write carefully, dipping reed pens into ink. Others read in silence, their eyes moving steadily across the delicate lines of text. There is no single language spoken here. Greek dominates, but Egyptian, Hebrew, Persian, and others can be heard in quiet conversation. Alexandria does not belong to one culture. It belongs to many. A young student approaches a senior scholar. He carries a scroll, his hands slightly trembling. The scholar listens, then responds with calm authority. Correction is made. A question is raised. A new idea begins to form. This is how knowledge lives, not as something fixed, but as something constantly examined and reshaped. Beyond the main reading halls, smaller rooms branch out. These are spaces for specialized study. In one, mathematicians gather. Lines and shapes are drawn on wax tablets. Numbers are discussed not just as tools, but as truths. In another room, physicians study the human body. They examine texts on anatomy, compare treatments, and debate the nature of illness. Some knowledge here is practical. Some is theoretical. All of it is part of a larger attempt to understand life itself. Step further and you find astronomers. They look not at scrolls, but at the sky. Models of the heavens are drawn and redrawn. The movement of stars and planets is tracked with careful precision. Questions are asked that reach far beyond the walls of the library. What is the shape of the Earth? How far away is the sun? What governs the motion of the cosmos? These are not idle curiosities. They are the beginning of science. At the heart of this intellectual world stands a quiet discipline: cataloging. One man, a scholar named Callimachus, has undertaken the task of organizing the library's vast collection. His work is known as the Pinox, a systematic listing of authors and their writings. It is not simply a list. It is a structure, a way to navigate knowledge itself. Without it, the library would be overwhelming. With it, it becomes accessible. Imagine walking through these halls with purpose, seeking a specific text, a poem by Homer, a treatise by Aristotle, a history written in a distant land. The Pinox guides you. It transforms chaos into order. Outside, the day continues. Servants move quietly through the corridors, maintaining the space. Oil lamps are trimmed. Floors are swept. Fresh papyrus is prepared for new writings. The library is not static. It is alive, sustained by constant care. In the courtyard, scholars gather under open sky. Here, discussions become more animated. Voices rise slightly, though never in anger. Ideas are challenged. Arguments are refined. Knowledge is not protected from criticism. It is strengthened by it. A philosopher stands, gesturing with his hands as he speaks. Around him, listeners consider his words. Some agree, others do not, but all are engaged. This is the culture of Alexandria, a belief that truth is not owned, but discovered. As the sun climbs higher, light filters through the columns, casting long shadows across the stone floor. The library shifts with the day. Morning brings quiet concentration. Midday brings discussion. Later, reflection. But beyond the intellectual life, there is also the human one. Scholars eat together. Simple meals of bread, olives, and wine. They share stories. They laugh quietly. They speak of their homes, far from Alexandria. Some will never return. Their lives are now tied to this place. For many, the library is not just a workplace. It is a home. Yet not all who enter are equal. Access is controlled. The library is supported by the state, and its scholars are often chosen, invited. Patronage matters. Power shapes knowledge, even here. The Ptolemaic rulers understand the value of this institution. It brings prestige. It attracts talent. It places Alexandria at the center of the world's intellectual map. But it also creates a delicate balance. Knowledge thrives under support. It can also be limited by it. As the afternoon begins, we move toward one of the quieter sections of the library. Here, texts from distant lands are translated into Greek. Teams of scholars work together, comparing languages, interpreting meaning, ensuring accuracy. This is not easy work. Words carry culture. Ideas shift when translated. Yet, through this effort, knowledge crosses boundaries. A text written in one world becomes accessible in another. Imagine the moment a new idea enters the library. A scroll arrives from India or from the deserts of Persia. It is unrolled, examined, discussed. Its contents begin to spread. The library grows not just in size, but in diversity. As we stand in this space, surrounded by voices from across time and place, it becomes clear that Alexandria is more than a city. It is a meeting point of minds. And here, in 250 BC, the library stands at its height, not as a monument of stone, but as a living system of thought. The day slowly moves toward evening. Light softens. Shadows lengthen. Scholars begin to close their scrolls. Conversations quiet. The energy of the day settles into a calm stillness. But the work is never truly finished. Ideas formed today will be challenged tomorrow. Texts written here will travel beyond these walls, shaping worlds unseen. As we step back toward the entrance, the sounds of the city return. The distant call of traders, the rhythm of footsteps, the endless movement of life. Behind us, the library remains, silent, yet full of voices. A place where knowledge is gathered, questioned, and shared. A place where the past and future meet. And as the sun sets over Alexandria, casting a final glow across the harbor, one thought lingers. What does it mean for knowledge to live? Not in scrolls alone, but in the minds that seek it. and in the spaces that allow it to grow. Here in Alexandria around 250 BC, that question is not just asked. It is being answered. Night settles gently over Alexandria. The harbor grows quiet. Lanterns flicker along the docks, their reflections trembling in the dark water. The great lighthouse of Pharos burns brighter now, its fire cutting through the darkness, guiding ships that approach from distant horizons. The city does not sleep completely. It breathes more slowly. Voices soften. Movements become deliberate. And within the royal quarter, behind stone walls and silent corridors, the library remains awake. Imagine stepping once more through its entrance, now lit by the warm glow of oil lamps. Shadows stretch across the columns. The air feels different at night, more intimate, more reflective. The noise of the day has faded, and what remains is thought itself. A few scholars still sit at their tables. Some read slowly, absorbing each line as if time has expanded around them. Others write, their hands steady, their minds focused. The scratching of reed pens against papyrus is soft but constant. It is a sound that carries intention. In this quiet, knowledge deepens. Here, ideas are not performed for others. They are explored in solitude. In one corner, a mathematician studies geometry. Lines intersect on a wax tablet. Shapes emerge, precise and elegant. The work is careful, almost meditative. Each conclusion rests on the certainty of logic. There is no room for guesswork, only proof. Nearby, an astronomer adjusts a simple instrument. He has spent years observing the sky, recording the movement of stars. Tonight, he compares his notes. Patterns begin to reveal themselves. The heavens are not random. They follow laws, though those laws are not yet fully understood. This realization carries weight. It suggests that the universe itself can be known. Further along, a historian reads from a scroll written generations ago. The words describe events long past. Wars, alliances, migrations. The historian pauses, reflecting. What is history if not memory preserved? And what happens when memory fades? The library exists to prevent that fading, to hold the past in place so it may speak to the present. As we move deeper, we enter a chamber where scribes continue their work. Even at night, copying does not stop. A single scroll can take days, sometimes weeks, to reproduce. Accuracy is everything. A single error can alter meaning. The scribes work in silence. Their movements are practiced, almost ritualistic. Dip the pen, trace the line, pause, continue. This is the hidden labor behind knowledge. Not the ideas themselves, but the effort required to preserve them. Step outside into the courtyard, and the night sky opens above. The stars are clear, untouched by artificial light. Scholars gather here, wrapped in simple cloaks. Some point upward, tracing constellations with their fingers. The sky, like the library, is a collection, but its scrolls are written in light. A teacher speaks quietly to a small group of students. He explains the motion of the planets, the concept of spheres, the idea that the Earth itself might be part of a larger system. The students listen, their faces illuminated by starlight. These moments are fragile. Ideas shared in whispers, carried forward by memory. Back inside, we begin to see the broader structure of this institution. The library is not isolated. It is part of a network. Scholars travel to and from Alexandria, bringing knowledge with them, taking knowledge away. Some come from Athens, others from Babylon, from Cyrene, from lands even further east. They arrive with questions, with texts, with perspectives shaped by different worlds. And here, those perspectives meet. This exchange is not always smooth. Differences in belief, in method, in tradition create tension. A philosopher may challenge a mathematician. A physician may question a historian. Yet, within this tension, something valuable emerges. Clarity. Through disagreement, ideas are tested. Through testing, they become stronger. But the library is not immune to the forces beyond its walls. Politics moves quietly through its corridors. The Ptolemaic rulers who support the library do so with purpose. They understand that knowledge brings influence. A city known for learning attracts thinkers, and thinkers shape the future. Yet, this support is not without conditions. Certain ideas may be favored, others may be discouraged. The freedom of thought exists, but it is not absolute. It is balanced against the needs of power. This balance is delicate. Too much control and knowledge becomes limited. Too little and the institution may lose its direction. In Alexandria around 250 BC, that balance still holds, but it requires constant attention. As the night deepens, we find ourselves in a quieter wing of the library. Here, texts are stored that are rarely accessed, works considered obscure or perhaps too complex for common study, scrolls from distant lands, philosophies that challenge accepted views, the edges of human understanding. A scholar enters this space alone. He selects a scroll, unrolls it carefully, and begins to read. His expression shifts. Curiosity becomes concentration. Concentration becomes wonder. This is how discovery begins. Not in grand moments, but in quiet encounters. Outside, the city continues its slow rhythm. Guards patrol the streets. Families rest in their homes. The sea remains constant, its waves meeting the shore with steady persistence. Alexandria is both vast and contained, a place where the world gathers, yet also where it is shaped. Back within the library, a subtle change begins. The first hint of dawn. The sky, still dark, softens at the horizon. A faint blue emerges, replacing the deep black of night. The oil lamps burn lower. Some scholars close their scrolls, their work for the night complete. Others remain, unwilling to leave the thread of thought they have been following. Time here feels different. It stretches and folds, shaped not by the sun, but by the movement of ideas. As morning approaches, the library prepares for another day. Servants return, refreshing the space. New scrolls are brought in. Messages arrive. The cycle continues. And yet, standing here, it is impossible not to feel a quiet awareness. This place, so full of life, is also fragile. Its existence depends on many things. On political stability, on economic support, on the continued belief that knowledge is worth preserving. Remove any one of these and the balance shifts. The scrolls themselves are vulnerable. Papyrus can decay, fire can destroy, war can erase in moments what took centuries to build. The library is powerful, but it is not permanent. And perhaps that is what gives it meaning. Knowledge, gathered here, is not meant to remain confined. It is meant to move outward, to influence cities, cultures, generations. Even if the walls of the library were to disappear, the ideas within it would continue. They would live on in copies, in teachings, in the minds of those who pass through these halls. As we step once more toward the entrance, the first light of dawn fills the sky. The city begins to wake. The harbor stirs. The lighthouse flame fades against the growing brightness. Behind us, the library stands as it did yesterday and the day before, a place of quiet intensity, a place where humanity seeks to understand itself and the world it inhabits. But more than that, it is a reminder that knowledge is not a possession. It is a process, a continuous act of seeking, questioning, and sharing. In Alexandria around 250 BC, that process has reached a rare moment of harmony. Different cultures, different disciplines, different minds, all contributing to a shared pursuit. It is not perfect, but it is extraordinary. And as the sun rises fully, casting light across the columns and corridors, one final image remains. Rows of scrolls, silent and still, and within them, the voices of countless lives, speaking, waiting, enduring, not just as records of the past, but as invitations to think, to imagine, to continue the search, because the Library of Alexandria is not only a place. It is an idea, and like all ideas, it lives on, wherever there are minds willing to listen.